ask everyone, everything in the past, let's leave it in the past. I want to start this, like everyone, let's start having collegial communication here. My biggest thing last year was like, I was so disappointed to see the attorney's fees, okay? So everyone, all of us, me too included, I didn't call them, but I want us to solve our own problems as a community. Let's get together and figure it out. I don't want any more, I don't want to see one attorney bill this year, except for him coming to the annual meeting, that's it. Okay, if I see, I'm gonna be like super disappointed, because the issues that we're having, we can figure out ourselves. We don't need to involve Larry. We don't need to ask for his directive on things. We don't need to send him complaints about us, misdoing things. We can communicate this, we're adults. We're not this big $1 billion Boca West development, okay? Everyone knows I want to keep to do as low as possible too. We can, and the only way to do this, last year I wanted to see this year how it went with no fees. Well, here we are. We spent more fees. And it's like, I just want us to start communicating as, we don't have to be friends outside of here, but as adults. Like, let's figure it out together, let's find solutions to things. Not, tit-tat, this person did that, they're doing this, we don't know what's, none of this. Like, it's too much. And I'm not trying to lecture anybody, I'm just saying this year I just want us to be able to figure this out ourselves, because we can, if we just act like adults. So I wish more people were here, but I'm just, so that's it. I just want collegial communication. Also, I'm glad Tiffany and the work they're doing, it's awesome. And I'm glad that people are getting on the board. That's going to help a lot. But again, I just want us to be a community like we are. We're not some hierarchy, whatever. I don't know what to call it, but there's no reason for us to be divided like last year's event. There's no reason for the attorney to be called. There's no reason for him showing up here and lecturing us at every other meeting. There's zero reason for it. So on that, I just, I just want us, let's not, anything that's happened in the past, leave it in the past. That's all I'm asking. Like, if that makes sense to everybody. Again, I wish there was more people here to hear this. Okay.
If I never see Larry again, I'll be very
Yeah.
And we'll see him next month. That's all I want to see him. I want to see, the only bill I want to see is for the annual meeting. That's
Why
it.
does he have to come to the annual meeting?
He's supposed to, I don't know. I don't, it doesn't come, I don't care.
He's
I
never
just,
come before, has he? The
Huh?
annual meeting?
yeah, he always comes to the annual meeting.
Really?
Yeah. So do I have to do that all over again?
Nope.
Okay. So we're on the same page.
Can I introduce Carmen since she's
How you
new?
doing?
She just moved to the neighborhood, Carmen Vasquez.
Maybe it's good she didn't.
Lives next to Lisa. Lisa, guess what? She lives next door
Okay.
to Lisa.
Nice to meet
On
you.
my street.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you, we love it, thank you.
Okay, on that note, I'll do a roll call for the board. Tom Judge, Kathy Roth, and Eli Alexander. Guests who are here, you can introduce yourselves.
I am Carmen Vasquez, just moved from Miami,
Oh.
November 14th, so we are so excited to be here. I work for Allstate, and I have other boards that I'm on, like the Florida Insurance Fraud Education, so lots of interesting thing going on in Florida and fraud, I'm sure you know. And I work closely with the Sheriff's Office and things like that to help reduce it as much as possible.
Are you at Central?
I'm sorry?
Are you at Central headquarters?
No, I work from home, and I manage a team. You all have personal insurance, PIP on your policies, and I pretty much manage and investigate fraud from
Yeah.
that aspect.
Nice. Thank you for that.
What's happening?
Hey, how are you? Welcome.
Hello, neighbor.
Hi, neighbor. Hi.
405 72nd. That's about it.
All right, so keep going. Oh, so Tiffany,
Yeah, I did.
you got everyone, Kathy? You got everyone on the attendance?
Yeah, well, there's a sign-in sheet there.
Oh, okay, never mind. Let's do the sign sheet then. Take your time. Has everyone reviewed the previous minutes from the last meeting?
Is it online? The only thing I had was, what I mentioned to you. It was just a verb, it's just a, oh, you changed it, oh, okay.
I want to come back to the minutes.
Is that open? I thought that was open.
Okay, so do you want to make a motion to approve the previous minutes?
I just had a question about that. I know we may have discussed it before. I see there's a double asterisk next to it. It has to do with Cody Dingle's house on Northwest 72nd Street. So at the present time, they're moving out, or at least taking down the fence and a lot of trees and shrubs and whatnot. Is that something that gonna be removed by the city, or are they gonna remove?
He just moved it to that truck over there today.
Oh, okay, all right, good. I mean, this is, you know, I'm sure that he complies. I mean, he's, you know, I was just wondering if that was something that was gonna be done tomorrow when the city comes through, or that's good to know, good to see, and, that's progress. I think it does nothing but, you know, improve our neighborhood, our community with what they're doing, he and his brother. But in any event, I just wanna clarify that that's what they're doing, because they're going into the easement.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff is going onto the city property, technically what we maintain and agree to maintain, with the city from a number of years ago. So our guys won't, you know, come, and if they're moving it now and moving it, that's great. I didn't notice that.
Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
I want to make a motion to approve the minutes.
You wanna make a motion?
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. President's report, I don't really have anything.
You wanna mention anything with the annual meeting coming up?
We have the annual meeting on February.
February 3rd, right?
Okay.
February 3rd at what
And then,
time?
the annual meeting has to be going out with the ballots for everyone who, applied for the board. Was a lot. Good to see. I thought you definitely knew, but you didn't do it, huh?
Do what? I'm sorry, what?
Well, you'd be on the board. So yeah, just, get those back, the instructions, how to complete them, send them back. And it's pretty simple.
9 max, right?
9 match, yeah.
Are
It'll have
Are you
directions on
done
it.
yet?
Huh?
Are you done?
I want to be done.
How many nominees did you get?
There's 10, we'll include, so 10 total, including everyone here too.
There was 9, and there's, and has that person, accepted the nomination? He's supposed to be here tonight,
I don't know.
from what I understand. Yeah, he's coming. So we'll have a vote.
Yeah, so
We'll have a
those
vote.
will be going out next week, I believe.
This weekend.
This weekend?
Speak of the-
Okay. See, I should have waited.
No.
Yeah, I
Should've waited.
It's just very-
Let's start with that.
a lot of traffic.
All right.
Want to clarify that with Chris?
What? You accepted the nomination for running for the board?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. All right, great. So we will have an election. If it was just 9, we wouldn't have had an election, but now since there's over the maximum, then we have to have an election, which is fine. The first 9 or were, you know,
I
go.
haven't had this much interest in a long time.
But you can always be a volunteer,
Okay, vice president's report.
or anybody for that matter. I can always be a volunteer. Or somebody can drop off, and then you can.
Are you leaving Tom? Are you everything done here?
Eventually, yeah. I'd like to see a couple of things straightened out beforehand, but 27 years is a long time.
You did your duty.
Yeah.
27 nonstop?
He didn't get a Rolex at 20 either.
Non-stop. I moved here, what, 98, and I got on 99, later part of 99, as a crime watch person.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so, oh, I'm on the wrong page.
Didn't crime over the holiday? You were-
Yeah. I got
Eli
somebody-
doesn't
I didn't hear
be
it,
on
it
the
was
ballot.
recently. we
Oh,
had-
you don't wanna be on it?
Yeah, so we don't have to like, no, just say.
Oh, so we're down to 9, okay. Oh, that's fine.
Whatever you want.
I was hoping they wouldn't vote me on, I was hoping this is my way out.
If you decide to me, I guess we don't.
Go ahead, Tom.
All right, so this has been tabled for almost exactly 1 year. And it has to do with the increasing of the dues. Right now, we
Vice
are at,
President's report.
what's that?
Here, Vice President's report.
Okay.
It's part of it,
Yeah.
Well, that's all part of it.
So,
They're on the playground.
well, okay, yeah,
This is out of the budget.
the playground had to do with the trees that was hindering the playground sign. So I made a quick call to the city, talked to Leonard over at the sign department. He sent 2 of his guys out and they cut that whole area so there's a playground visible, sign visible for motorists. We have 2 of them. We had those installed many years ago, but at least it's something that eventually, and I know there's other interest in this as well, is that they wanna do a crosswalk because we get so much Hidden Valley traffic going to the park.
Yeah.
And it's become, cars are going too fast now.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna contact traffic division and they're probably gonna set up a speed monitor or something and, you know, start doing that again, cause most of the people that get the tickets unfortunately are in Hidden Valley. And a lot of them also come through Del Rey and they cut through that way off of Grant Drive, coming from Landau. This is what I've been told in the past, so if it has to happen, yeah. But I know that, another potential board member, Andy, had expressed interest with that and emailed us about that he wants to work on something as far as, a safety crosswalk or somehow.
Speed bumps right over there, we work.
Yeah.
With the wall.
Yeah, I mean, speed bumps is an option too.
Just one.
Yeah,
Or
right
the
there.
hump would be even better,
Right,
like
hump,
that
yeah.
slow, yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you got the crosswalk.
That's a good idea. That's something that we can suggest, you know, but yeah. So yeah, and they took care of it within a couple hours, yeah, and, I stopped over there while they were doing it, and all good. Now, this other ordeal that I'll refer back to has to do with, a motion that's been tabled for almost a full year now. It was actually made at the annual meeting last year, if I'm not mistaken, Joe made
This is
that
part of the budget,
motion.
this is part of the budget discussion.
So, you don't wanna discuss this at this time? under the
Yes, that's fine,
budget
this is
discussion?
part of the budget discussion, I think.
You wanna talk about the budget first, before we go into any figures or anything?
Okay, we can, and then you mentioned, we already said the meeting, and then they do that.
I can say it now, or I can say it later, it doesn't matter.
You can discuss, I mean, the point is we talked about the budget discussion, I mean,
Because there's a motion to be made.
yeah, but that's from the budget discussion.
Okay. Then I'll hold off to the budget discussion. And then we can all kind of chime in if you want. If you're, you know, is this a board meeting or the town hall? You guys,
No, this
you know,
is one-
is this interacting with, you know, the?
No, we have the agenda, we have the authority.
All right. Okay, I thought I was under the impression that you wanted me to mention this on the vice president's report. No? Okay.
So, secretary's report. Lake and canal report.
What's the treasurer?
All right, so to treated the lake on, what's that? Oh, the POA.
Oh,
That's you now.
all right.
Let me turn this off.
So our current balance is $86,344.69. Any day now, they're supposed to, the insurance should be paying that, which is $5,400 and something and change. So we'll be right about 81,000, like, next 48 hours.
Is it debited?
She said it was,
It's insurance for the lake.
no, that's for liability insurance and then director's office insurance.
Oh, for the insurance.
So Solitude treated the lake on November 19th, 2025, as well as December 23rd, 2025, as well as the canal. I don't know if I saw it. I do have the reports, and I emailed all the board members the reports when they did come in November as well as December. Have not been here yet in January.
Yeah, like, yeah. So it's true.
Oh, okay. It used to, I thought it would be together, okay, all right. Okay, so now we know. So, this, we also have a service agreement with Solitude. It's the name of the company that services our lake and canal. I got this as well as Jessica Hunter, who is part of the committee for obtaining quotes with regard to lake issues. Tiffany is also on that committee, and Joe delegated them in the last month's meeting, correct? So I, as a lake chairperson, if you will, they send me this information as to not anything to do with the quotes, what you guys are doing, which I have no idea, but I do have a service agreement that Joel suggested that we obtain from Solitude regarding the lake analysis as well as the canal analysis. We are way overdue with that. And what they do is they go in and they check out, they have a whole table of things, ammonia, the water, the oxygen in the lake and the canal, and making sure there's no bacteria, that type of thing. Because we don't restrict swimmers in that lake, and there are swimmers that go in that lake, and people go in that lake. I've been in that lake. I fixed the pipe in the lake in my own backyard, and so yeah. So I think it's a good idea that we have that done. We just wanted to get the quotes on it. They copied me on these quotes, from what I understand. I forwarded them to you, didn't I, Joe? All right. I know you've been crazy good. So anyway, for the canal, it's $460.
Once a year?
Yeah, once a year. And once every 2 years or 3 years, for how long ever, it's been several years since they've done it. And then, and it's gone up, because it used to be just a couple $100, if I remember right. This is just for the canal, $460. And then for the lake, it's $925. For the lake. And what they do is they sample it from different depths, and they go around and they take the water samples and they put them through the chemist or what have you, and they come out with the results, and then we get a full report on it.
I'm sorry, how much was the lake again?
$925.
So $13.85 total.
Yeah, for both.
And that's not in the budget every year, it's only increased every 2 years.
When was the last time you did it?
I don't think it's been done for
You said a
at
couple
least,
years last, I mean,
at least 3 to 4 years, I think, that I know.
Is it in the
I
budget?
think that's important. Like,
No, it's not in there. That's why I'm writing it down right now.
Well,
I'm adding it to the budget.
um,
It's not approved yet.
So
Oh.
the lake on that side could be contaminated, but when they say it would be fine. Right, this is just one area of the lake, it's not multiple spots on the lake that they test, right?
I'm under the impression that they take it from different samples,
It's
from
gotta,
different,
we
Really?
gotta make
different-
sure that the lake
I could've
is,
sworn that
and
was
different
there.
depths.
Yeah.
Now, he did say for the canal, because of the depth of the canal, that canal is not very deep. So they only take it from one area because of the fact that the canal is pretty much all the same depth. That lake is 40 feet deep in the center.
Yeah, we should clarify that, because I could've sworn it was just one spot.
All right,
I thought he said that.
all right. How many
That's the case.
samples, okay? How many samples from the lake and canal?
Yeah.
I'll verify that. Yeah.
Should we let people swim in that lake?
So,
No, I don't really think so.
What?
Also, on top of that, like, in addition to sampling it, like, maybe we should have like a no swimming sign, we shouldn't let people swim in there.
those are rules that we can make. Our attorney
Yeah.
advised us, we can, the board can make those rules. At Boca Lake Estates, no fishing, no swimming. They don't allow that whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we can just put a sign up, right, not always running.
We can, We can, like he said, you can.
You guys missed the first part.
You can make the rules, and the board can agree to make the rules with a motion. If we want to say, okay, you know what, from now on, this fishing's out of hand, let's stop the fishing. Or swimming, you know, I would, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say, you know, swimming might be a potential hazard.
I think that's the biggest part of it,
that
like
lake
being
is
in a
deep.
boat, like playing in there or something, a little different, but just like being fully submerged seems
I think
like.
there's a family that uses those surfboard things, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Well, Holly's kids, they go in it,
All the
Huh?
time. They're older now, but they were there
Yeah.
all the time.
and now Sanders, their kids go in it quite often.
You have to sign that says it's only your own risk, right?
It's like, no, the use of the lake is at your own risk or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're covered.
Well, we are in that sense if they read it.
Yeah. Right, we are covered, it's there, you know, we
Yeah,
are covered,
yeah,
yes.
all right. So, yeah, no, and then I was going to, at this point, I was gonna segue into the committee, as far as what you have for the board.
Okay, so, yeah, we can do it now. This for the board. And then, yeah, you guys can take one. Sure. Thank you. The board. So
don't treat me.
I wrote what I'm gonna say, so I don't forget anything, so just bear with me. All right, so I wanted to thank, I'm here on behalf of the Lake Committee. Jessica is out of the country, so you're stuck with me. Okay, so the whole point of forming the Lake Committee, right, as Tom said, was to gather data, from multiple engineers, then sit down with the board, go over it, all our findings, which included quotes, budgets, engineering feedback, and a phase plan, which you'll see in the binders. We've been trying to do that since November, so unfortunately, we didn't get to sit down with the board before, but here we are today. We've drawn, yes. The HOA's own engineer has said 7 times, which you guys won't have one printed out for everyone, but if you pass this around, you can see all the 7 times that he told us it was aesthetic. It's not structural, it's not an emergency, and it's not a threat to people or property. That said, the Lake Committee and our personal position has never been to do absolutely nothing, which is reflected in our following recommendations. We would like to go forward with a budget, to budget for a proper lake survey with an independent third-party engineer. And we also would like that budget to do engineer drawings if he finds it necessary in certain areas that need to be fixed. We put those 2 costs, which is about roughly just under $10,000, into a proposed budget for this year. With that,
That's a survey and what else?
the drawings, if he finds any areas that need fixing, right? This has 0 impact to the bottom line, it's already covered without raising our dues. Also, in that, we did include, monthly treatment for the canal. So, in your folder, you're gonna find, contractor quotes including one of something Tom was pushing for, socks. The socks cost we got was about $92 per linear foot. We have just over 2,300 linear feet in the lake. So if we redid the entire lake, that would be roughly $443,000 before any ongoing maintenance fees, which is a lot. We also include quotes for other shoreline options, all of which cost far less than socks and are also backhoe size. So in our opinion, nothing should be done. We should be raised until we get the survey and, if needed, the drawings, so we know exactly how much we're looking at and what we will need to cover. In your packet, you'll see the budget that we put together. So our total income with the dues at 500 is about 54,500. We included a 10% buffer based on 2024 expenses, as well as including some of these lake and canal treatments that I just talked about. which gets us to total expenses of just under 45,000. That gives us about a surplus of $9,500 on top of the reserves that Joel just mentioned, which was, let's call it $81,000. So we walked the lake with an engineer, and just based on his viewing with his own eyes, he didn't do any testing or anything like that, he suggested maybe we need fixing about 150 linear feet. At that cost, that's about the next page. You should see our proposed. It's projections for the next couple of years. Yeah, yes. Yeah, so this year we spent the 10,000 to do the survey and the drawings. Obviously, we won't need that next year. Next year, if they say we need 150 feet, let's estimate that's about 28 grand. And then the next year and year after that, we'll do phase littoral plans to help maintain the areas that don't necessarily need fixed. Obviously, these are estimates at this point based on just a walk around. We don't know the exact cost until we do the survey and the drawings.
Is that water test, the lake and water test, is it the same as the one that Tom got quote for? Or does that mean addition?
I don't know, I have to look at the quote. But if it says water testing, I'm assuming it's the
Jessica was
same.
copied on that, when she
Yeah,
went to her.
so yeah. And you know, this is one quote, we can then go and quote different to get the best cost.
Did you quote Solitude? The lake maintenance to be used?
Yeah, I believe we have some too. Tigris, Ranch Shore Enterprises, which is cheaper, but they're not paying a third party, they do their own, Allen Solitude, they would do their own engineering and work. Which has its perks, but also, you know. And then Caulfield Road is the engineer we talked to. That's the testing for, yeah. So overall, we feel like there is no need, no emergency need to increase dues without having the facts. I think last meeting, we agreed to table the raising the dues until we sat down and had like a black and white, here's the numbers, right? And if we see that we can't afford our own expenses or say, you know, the survey comes back and we need a lot of work, then we can talk about it. But right now, our reserves are healthy, our expenses are fairly low. To me, there's no need to raise dues unless we have proof that we actually need to. And, you know, just because we haven't raised dues, to me, is not a reason.
So I mean, so really, like realistically, and I want you guys all to look into this too. I don't know if you have researched how we should allocate our funds. So essentially for operating costs, that's about 75% of our dues go towards those. But then for reserves, we don't actually have a reserves account. This is something that we should have set up a long time ago, we just don't have it. So realistically, what we should be doing is keeping 6% or 6 months worth of what we have out of 81,000 for operating costs, especially since we're not a monthly. So out of 6 months out of our annual budget, so 54,000, 6 months of that.
So that's
So
25.
divide that by 6, or 12. So 6 months of that should, well, not, yeah. So that should be kept in our operating.
Should be, it's not required.
No, but just for health, yeah. And then we can roll the rest in the reserves account. Doesn't matter to me. So that's, I mean, I didn't do that.
This reserves is like an interest-bearing account, it's in the money market.
I honestly, I'm not gonna, I don't know. So I was talking about during the budget aspect of it all, but.
We're not allowed to, as a homeowners association, we're not allowed to have an interest rate
Okay.
legally.
Okay. So again, like out of all our dues yearly, we should have operating costs between 60 to 75%. And I want you guys to like research for yourselves too. It's just
We'll
me
talk,
saying.
yeah, so,
This actually, you know, I talked with Bill Campbell on
Oh.
property, and he's like, come on, these numbers with me. Reserves should be 20 to 30% of our dues allocation, should go into a reserve account for, you know, and it isn't for stuff that has to be done now, it's for foreseeable stuff.
Yeah, so Florida law 723, says that reserves are designated specifically for capital improvements and deferred maintenance.
Correct.
Replacing area or storm repairs, whatever.
Yeah.
It does not allow HOA board reserves for future capital needs. I'm sorry, it does, but not to stockpile operating cash and reserves, just a hidden arbitrary number.
Yeah, so that's what these reserves would be for, is like, you know, taking a tree out, if there are needed areas that need to be done, so not the whole lake, but certain areas, they go towards that. And this is something that should have been done a long time ago,
Right,
and
and we
we
can
can't go
start
back
now.
to the past, we're starting now. That's what I was saying
And we
earlier.
can start now by managing our budget better.
Yeah.
Less legal fees, for example.
Well, yeah, we will
That is
come.
a big.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
huge. I don't get why we have an attorney.
It's, okay, the past,
Yeah, that's in the past, you can fix it.
We're stopping,
Yeah.
okay, this is the past. That's one, I should have waited to say what I said earlier.
But it is true, right? We just need to manage our budget better if we wanna increase our reserves.
Yeah, so, and then on top of that, so then dues should increase, this is, I don't know if you know, but even in stale markets, 3 to 5% a year, they always go up.
If necessary, yeah, not just because.
No,
Because
but-
everyone else does it, it's not a good.
But then you have the years like, okay, you have the March crash, and all of a sudden we have the COVID, the cost of everything went through the roof to repair things, so what if we got short-handed? Huh?
One question,
Yeah.
and then nothing about,
Uh-oh.
if, God forbid, because of a hurricane, a tree falls in the park, is that something that we have
That's
to
the
fix?
city.
It's a city, park is a city.
Yeah,
But to your point, if the tree fell into the canal or lake, then we would have to take care of it.
How many trees are on the ones that?
okay.
Too many.
Okay.
I have a question about that though, because I remember when I was on the board, there were trees falling, and it was up to the homeowners to clear.
Yeah, I can tell you there's trees in the canal that I was picking up.
I thought it's common area, so that, and that was one of my things that was self in the
Well,
lake.
we had letters out, and now Boca Lake Estates is neighboring us on that too. So I don't know if that's coming. I heard that there was
You
one,
can't tell whose tree is whose, right? in
Okay.
the canal.
you might be able to know where that tree came from if it falls over.
No, like it's just floating. in the canal.
Oh.
So if a tree is floating in the canal, do we not?
You can take it out if you want.
No,
The board will.
doesn't do that.
No, the thing with the canal is that we maintain it as far as spraying the canal. Boca Lake Estates sprays their side, they use the same company. So when they come down here, it's like they do it all at the same time with the canal, with spraying both sides. And they do that once a month. And they do the canal, they do the lake as well. But the homeowner owns halfway to that canal, halfway across that canal. And the other homeowner owns the other, halfway. Aaron, I think you were able to put a small dock out there or something in the past? Did you? No. Somebody had, they put like a little, and that was their property to do that. So that's what I'm getting at.
So I mean,
We
this.
can't do that on the lake.
Okay, so I like the plan, I mean, so if we can transfer, keep that 6 months for the operating reserves. And so another thing I wanted, we have never done it, and it was suggested again, was to actually do a dues and reserve study. Like actually get a professional, because I think we all have different viewpoints and they're all good, like, no, I don't know if it's wrong or right. Like there is, numbers look good on paper. But there's never been actual study done to say, hey, listen, like, you guys do need to do this, or this is what it should be, or,
But isn't that somebody's opinion?
huh?
Yeah,
Well,
just
yeah, but a
someone's opinion.
professional.
Someone's opinion that
Like,
costs money.
some management companies do them like every year, for their
We're
management.
volunteer, I thought you said 23%.
Huh?
Did you say it's
For what?
23% in a separate account?
No, I'm talking about doing an actual study, to say, are we actually a healthy board?
So-
Because I don't wanna get stuck in that position. We don't know if something happens, where we do have to do an
I see where
assessment.
you're coming from, Joel.
Yeah.
My ask would be, that we take a stab at it. Especially now that if there's
Yeah.
more people on the board, that we take a first stab at it and see if we should be able to figure out our incoming and outgoing,
And I think that's what I'm saying, we need to work on it together completely.
Yeah.
Like I said, my only concern is, so like, our budget next year, this is budget, doesn't mean we're gonna spend it all, we didn't spend it all last year. is 39,524 for this year. So if we bring in the total, which again, if we're at 10,276. So right now we're breaking even, essentially. We're right about we're a little under, we'll net about 2,000 off of that. So 39,000,
Yeah.
524 plus your 10,276.
Where are you getting 10%?
That's
From
landscaping
From
and-
this,
Oh,
from the suggested proposal.
Wait,
No, this is the lake aspect of it.
so I'm sorry.
so he's taking this one.
I know, that's the lake, that's what we're talking about.
Joel, can you say that again?
So-
39,524 plus
Yeah,
what?
39,524,
Yeah.
that's what's on this,
Correct.
plus 10,276.35.
Why are we adding that?
Because that's gonna be added to the budget. This isn't part of the
No,
budget.
you're looking at 19,251, if you're looking at
Correct.
the Lake now.
Okay, so add the so 19,251, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the land before,
Yeah.
okay. So 19,251.
Alright, so that's 58,775.
So we're negative now, budget-wise for
Okay,
this
so
year.
we can take it out of our reserves, isn't that what it's for, the lake?
Yes, but what I'm saying is if we're trying to keep this positive, so right now we take that out.
Right,
so
but
we're
this isn't
down.
gonna be recurring every year.
No, but we're not in a 9,000 surplus, is what this is reflecting.
Well, yeah, this was based on the numbers we had, we didn't have. any
Yeah, no, I,
tonight.
that's what I'm saying, so,
Is this
and this is where we can figure it out, like,
But if.
I'm not saying not do it, I'm just saying like, I'm just being cautious of, like, we gotta watch the mic, so I guess me thinking out loud is, and I don't know what Tom's thoughts are on it, I know this is his baby, not mine. I like what you guys have done it, and you did a lot of work, and thank you so much for doing it, you know? It's like the only thing I cautiously would say,
Oh,
And
wait,
then-
I'm sorry.
and I don't know
Not
if
to
you.
cut you off,
Yeah,
but
no.
like, we're double counting, right? You have lake maintenance of 75,000, that can go for me.
75,000.
7,500, sorry. And then you have.
So this is part of the treatment, this isn't an
Correct.
addition to it, okay?
Yeah, this to us was everything.
So so we're really at like 12,000.
12,000 on.
No, you're just getting rid of lake maintenance, which is 7,500. So you're 19 and change minus 7,500. So we're right around 51.
So when you say lake maintenance, I'm gonna do with the water, I want that purified. I've said this
You
before.
wanna drink out of there?
Yeah, right,
Okay.
I understand,
No,
but
we're
I
actually under.
strongly
How much?
protest against property around it, it's just,
So do I.
3,200.
They buy the water, they.
So like 51, so I think originally 51, yeah.
So we have a surplus of 3,200.
3,200.
If we spend all
And
this
again,
money,
we're
which
not-
you said last year we did. right?
Again, like, you look at the budget, we profited last year, but we're not gonna spend all this, but I'm just cautious about it. And Tom, like, I know, like, this is yours, so I wanna hear what you think about, their proposal as far as, like, getting the engineering, the surveying, and stuff like that. So that's the first step.
You know,
We don't know what there's until next time.
I've been dealing with this for several years, and I can show you a service contract that I have just sold to, dated 2023 is when I started this. And at that time, to do the entire lake with 12-foot and 18-foot socks at some places that are really, really bad, the service, the quote that I got was $195,000. You're at 400. I'm just saying, my point is, there's inflation going on, right?
sure, absolutely.
There's inflation. There's not one HOA in city of Boca that's paying $500 a year for dues,
Totally agree,
okay?
but that's
But
one of
not
the
the
reasons I
reason.
bought it.
But,
Not the reason we.
Okay, calm down.
okay, it's all good. I wanted you to know this because I've been that close, and I thank you for doing that, because it's not easy. And I was out there too in the 90-degree weather with these guys, and we were walking the whole lake, and it was Turf Solutions.
Okay.
We have Turf Solutions here.
This is,
But okay, I'm not going
This is the
backwards,
past.
only to a point to understand that there is inflation that goes on. And when you connect that with potential increase in dues, you have more that's going to be cost that rise. And I mean, if we're breaking even, why even do it? You gotta be able to save money. And what was told to us by the attorney Larry Sneer, who has umpteen years' experience, he says, Joel, Tom, you gotta have a lake common property reserve, period.
And that's what our reserve is.
No,
We
our
don't have
reserve
anyone
is
established yet.
all of it. You have to actually narrow it down for that reason. We have a 7-acre lake out there with 109, with 38 homes that surround it.
We have the berm.
We have the
Doesn't trust
berm, we
lakes,
have
it's
the
berm.
front, we have an irrevocable agreement with the city of Boca Raton to take care of that front entrance. We have spent $36,000 on that front entrance between landscaping and signs and electric. We put a rack out there. I dealt with RPS on that whole job situation.
Even more reason to
So-
get the actual engineering
Okay,
report.
so, yeah, I mean, let's,
Before we make any
Yes.
decisions, because your $700 may not be enough. How do you know if you wanna increase it to 700?
I have to say 700.
no,
You've been
we've said in the past,
Yes,
I
you
made a
have.
motion.
Yeah,
last year.
well.
You know what I mean? So we're making assumptions, we're making decisions and changes based on no facts.
Okay, so let,
Well,
okay, hang on. Budget, this is internal, I'm sorry. Budget aside right now. I'm asking about the process, Tom, and what they've done, and
The approach.
the approach of it all. That's what I'm talking about right now. Because I have concerns, I probably have more concerns than you do, but
it's
And
a
I'm not-
lot of spent money on something that we have established a rapport with the company that we've been using for umpteen years. Todd, who's gonna probably be retiring pretty soon, is somebody that we have been dealing with that has told us that if we went with him on this correction, we don't have to do it all at once. We can do it across 4 or 5 years.
okay. No,
But-
Time for change.
But listen, just let me, please don't dictate what I have said. I wanna get it out so people know,
Okay.
that's all. But, I start stuttering and everything, is no good. So Todd has told us, he says, look, we have several accounts and you can go talk to these people that we have a contract with them. They're doing nobody has 200 grand to throw out and shell out just like that, unless you're Addison Miser or whatever it is out there. But he just said, he goes, we got so many of these going on right now. The people can't wait until it's done on their side or whatever, but it's done across several years. And what he said is that if you guys have a budget and have a reserve, he says, that's what I work with people from different HOAs. We, as far as a survey is concerned, first of all, and furthermore, what he said we would have a lifetime warranty providing that we stay with Solitude. The longer we stay with Solitude, the longer, I bet you that warranty that you got from that company is 5 years.
No one
No.
will build a house that'll last 1 year.
Okay.
Why would you do that?
I didn't hear what you said.
Why would you not shop around? Everyone shops around.
Of course, that's why I got 3 other bids,
So here's
You know?
here.
back in 23 and 24.
Here's
It's hard to follow what we're actually talking about right now. Are we talking about increasing the HOA and talking about
Budget.
They kind of correlate.
term is going, or vendor is going to?
We don't have a vendor yet.
Even if we were saying before you.
So where I'm at, let's start at point 1. This is, I guess, where I'm at. We don't know what has to be done. We don't know how much anything's gonna cost, even though there's estimates on here. Is the engineering and surveying. That's one of the first things, math is the same thing. Before we do anything, we have to survey. Can't do anything, no matter, they did something on the whole lake a little bit. So that's the thing is, from starting to finish, don't look at the end picture, don't look at the middle. It's the starting point of this. Is what I'm talking about.
Well, Tiffany addressed it with phase 1, phase 2, phase 3,
Yeah.
But the first step is.
And the first step is a survey.
Report, survey, and if we need drawings, yes.
So essentially, it's just starting.
Before that, we don't know, we're going blind. You can't just say the whole lake needs to be done
No.
without having a survey done.
It doesn't need to be done the whole lake.
Right, so let's have a survey to tell us exactly where needs actual fixing and where a littoral plant would help, or where,
Or
other
it-
avenues.
Solitude will do that for free. the survey.
If,
they sell
if,
stuff.
if they'll do a survey, listen, and that's fine, if they'll do
I
a
don't
survey.
trust Solitude. Yeah. I don't trust Solitude, I'm sorry. I need an independent third-party engineer
We got that.
to do a survey.
No, we don't have a survey.
We didn't get Matt.
Matt did not do a survey.
That has nothing to do with Soul.
No, Matt did a quote. This is, I think, is this from Caulfield and Wheeler?
Yes.
Okay, so this is from Matt. Yes.
He quoted us 8,000.
He quoted us 8,000 for the whole thing. It's like 1,300 more. So I'm sure we can get them down if you want it.
Right, these are initial.
So
I didn't know this was Matt's.
Yeah, so that's who they asked me to. So just starting this in phase one. That's what we're talking about.
This is to fix
Can someone address my question?
What was it?
Figure
Sorry.
out where
Where is
Am I responsible for his property?
And we've been told that our shelter
Am I
is
The
responsible?
common area around it is the community's
We've
responsibility.
been told it's aesthetic.
20 feet up the bank is a community, everyone's
Okay,
responsibility.
so then we can put a sidewalk over there and make it attractive.
If we wanted to put the money into it, yeah.
Okay.
It's in your
That's
deed.
what I'm going for next time.
It was probably in your, it's in the deed that when you bought into here, knowing that there was.
I knew
I know
it
the
was
lake
about
is a
to-
little hidden, but it's out there.
I knew it was about the water.
Yeah.
Lake water, and I totally agree with you. Hey, we want fungus or bacteria or anything in there, it's terrible. But I don't feel like I should have to pay for your land erosion. I got land erosion too. Rain, wind, like we all have that. Why am I responsible for yours and you're not responsible for mine?
That's like we're paying for a capital.
No,
That's, look, I just want my question addressed by the board, guys.
Can I just, it's a
Yeah.
very simple question.
Thank you.
We went around the development, okay, period. The lake maintenance agreement was done with the city, with the developer, not us, not Amber, no,
Correct.
okay?
Yep,
We bought our homes.
yep.
We all signed that line that we read the restricted covenants, declaration of everything, the bylaws. In there, it says lake maintenance agreement, that common area, 20 feet around the lake, the berm, the front entrance is responsible of all 109 homeowners, period. That's it, black and white, there's no gray area.
Well,
So
okay.
whether, I don't live in the lake, okay, so I'm on the fence, I don't live in the canal, I wanna help them get that, like, this is a frustrating part for me, it's been going for 2 years now, and I don't benefit, and it's like, as I mentioned, I'm fighting for both sides of this, to keep everyone else happy. But it's like, that's how I look at it, it's black and white, there's no possibly they own it, there's no, well, it's gray area, it's black and white in our covenants. And we all agreed when we closed on our homes, that we acknowledge we're responsible for that portion of land.
So the gray area is what constitutes maintenance.
Which is
What
what
is
we
the
do.
emergency?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
No,
level?
no, it's to keep it in a satisfactory condition.
Uh-huh.
So where we're at now.
That includes whether there's lake stabilization, bank stabilization on the lake ground is falling in, people in the backyards, they're losing property. We've lost 5 feet of material in the past 5 years, according to the city of Boca Raton engineer.
Okay, so.
Isn't that common ground though, doesn't that property go on?
So
Well,
this is,
how
so
long
let-
do we keep this
so-
going on
so
before we
we'll
do
go-
something
stop,
about
stop.
it?
So we'll go,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Amber, answer that question, Everyone, I don't think you're familiar. So, again, I don't live in the lake, I'll explain this to you. The lake maintenance agreement dictates that we have to maintain, I don't know the verbiage of it exactly, but like, we have to maintain satisfactory, and if there's land loss, or anything like that, on the covenant, and I'll get it out to you, that the city has the ability, if we, and this is what we're trying to avoid, is them coming in and saying that everyone can tell you, it's just happened in the past threats of, I'm gonna go to the city, let's get the city to come in and deal with this, and then they assess us. So instead of us doing this over time, increasing the dues a little bit here and there, they come and assess it one time through our tax bill. Or they make us do it, we have to assess you, and that's within 30 days.
They don't
Same-
wanna do that.
Did
No,
the city
but
come and
they
look at
will.
it?
No, they have not come and looked at it.
No, we tabled, I motioned to table that letter that the attorney was prepared to send out to the city at the last meeting. So that letter, from the letterhead of Larry Schneer, that we paid $350 for, is ready to go to the city.
Who told him to write it?
Okay, let's, please, come on. I don't-
Why, what are you gonna do to that?
Okay, so but to that point, there's some areas that are worse than others. Some areas probably need it, others don't need it. And I do think that, again, I think having an engineer look at those areas and say, hey, this area we can build, this area we can build, I think it's a good idea to do. I don't want I've told everyone, like, I don't wanna see anyone get assessed. I can afford it, someone's gonna afford it.
So it sounds like there's a
But-
free one and one we have to pay for, so.
There's not a free one. It would be more, our dues would go up, like 100.
Not in the survey though.
No,
He said
Uh,
that.
yeah, no,
Because they sell stuff, so we.
I know, but I'm saying though,
Yeah,
you can,
incentive to do
you
it.
could
Yeah,
still
but
submit
they're gonna
it.
tell us of the whole thing.
That's
Yeah.
okay, and then you
Yeah.
have yours. I mean, not
Well, we have
yours.
to
There's no
I'm
reason
saying
not to
do
take
both.
another survey.
Wanna get going.
Just to
free.
look at them and see
Yeah.
what they say.
Like if Solitude wanted to give a free survey, there's nothing that stops us from getting that
Say
information.
Solitude, they come back with two different,
I just know
two
that
different, results, who would we go with?
because I think
We get a
that
management fact though, so until they come back with the results, we don't know what the results are.
I think that when you survey property, my husband builds and designs swimming pools, and so he deals with surveys all the time. And they're quite similar, and if they're not, you can tell by reading the report, what the difference between the two are pretty clearly. So I just don't see any harm in gathering the information, and it makes a lot of sense. I know you do pay for surveys.
but you know what, you're right, and Tiffany, you're right as well in the sense that I'm rethinking this, because Solitude doesn't use engineers,
They sub it out.
they sub it out. So that brings up, this is done by an engineer, Matt, right, is gonna do the survey.
The engineer's on the hook,
Right.
if it erodes back into the, because they created the drawings.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, with his report, you can pick out words and choose words, and then, at the end of the day, there's a problem here. We went through this already, I showed this to everybody.
It should
And
be
no
as-
one's not
it should
acknowledging
be
it's not
as
erosion.
needed.
Yeah.
That's how we start.
But who pays for it?
They spent a lot of time.
Well, we all have to pay for it, that's, I mean,
If it's.
I know you don't wanna hear it, but it's true.
You know-
Remember in the documents that found that thing that said if it benefits the people in one area, then they are responsible.
It says something about the lake owners.
Well, Larry
The
made
bond.
it clear, I don't know how many different meetings, that we are all responsible. I even said, I'm like, maybe guys, people on the lake should pay more. And Larry said, then change
Okay.
the
Are
covenant.
we willing to?
And go
do
get
it or not?
2/3 of your association and change the covenants to say that the lake people, the people that are on the lake need to pay 75%, and then other people just pay 25%.
Okay, we're going back.
Like that, and like have this survey, and instead of spending all this time talking about what if, and just thoughts about things we don't even know yet. Give the information, manage by fact, like this is, let's not like spray and pray, let's manage by fact.
So this, again, this is your, this is a lake thing, so I like what they've done, I like, we don't know what's gonna be recommended. We haven't done a survey, and that was last thing before, is like, that's the first thing to start, let's start somewhere,
Right.
right? So, again, this is, you're more
Can
about
we
what's
get the
done.
survey? Can we get that survey?
I'm sorry?
Can we agree that a survey is a good idea? I think you need these people.
Well, I'm hearing from you guys too, we're, for right now, this is the last time that we're a 4 board, but we,
I agree, a survey's a good idea.
So do we want to,
survey's a good idea.
so is it
I
an
feel
option
it
to
too.
cherry pick off of here? Of what, like, let's just get the survey
Yeah,
done.
I think they were pretty flexible.
Okay, because again, I'm gonna go back to my concern of the money aspect, is if we do, and this, I don't know, the budget is, if we do the whole thing, and all of a sudden it's more than we need,
What do you mean?
like
The
this, and
survey
the
needs to
first,
be
no, but
done.
the first phase.
Oh, no, so this,
Yeah.
this
But we're really
is
not-
just, this is not an actual plan yet, because we haven't had the survey. This was based on him just walking around the lake and looking in his eyes and saying, this is what it's gonna look like, right, based on what I see. Once the survey is done, he will give us an actual, what needs to be done, and then from there,
And
we
where?
cherry pick.
And where it
And
needs to
where,
be.
yes.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the items, because like, if we're 19, like, if we just do the survey, which is 9 and change,
Yes.
that brings our budget up to 49.
Personally, this year, I would do the survey and the drawings. If they're-
That's what I'm saying,
if they're
that's like
necessary.
9.
Yes.
So yeah, the drawing,
Yeah.
so that brings us up to like, right about 50. Right?
It would be
For our
an
budget.
additional 10,000 from Eris. An expensive city, yeah.
Okay. So like that might,
But again, at that point, Yeah, we still need to keep the 7,500 because it's a
So
survey.
you're just asking to add that
Where is
so
it?
that we can have a roadmap.
Yeah.
We need a roadmap.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a correlation in this in the budget discussion later on. That's the thing, like, that's what I foresee happening right now.
Right, and based on that, we don't need increased dues. We have a surplus and we have healthy reserves.
Well, maybe
If the
you-
survey
maybe
comes
you-
back.
Maybe you consider that once you get the survey
Correct.
back, like, right?
If the survey comes
That-
back crazy, right?
Well, so I wasn't saying say it comes back.
Well, then we
Can you
talk
have a
about it
meeting?
then.
Then we can
When
always
the
lower
survey
it.
gets back?
No,
We can
we know
always
how
lower
hard
it
it is to
too.
lower something once it goes up. We just talked about it.
Oh, no? Let me ask you something.
I
No, no, I wanna say this.
However many years ago.
5 years ago, who made the motion to knock it from 7 to 500?
That's because we lost the internet.
What?
That's because we had internet at one point.
Yeah, but I made the motion to bring it down to 500.
We lost
Okay.
turning point services.
Yeah, we had internet when I first moved here, and that went
We
away.
still had an
But on
expense.
the- On the other board that I'm on, you can bring that motion.
We can change it.
Later.
Right.
You
Yeah.
don't have to make a decision now. You can first get the survey back and then have a meeting for the budget, once you have the survey back.
People are gonna get the survey, it's just, like, that's the next thing, right? We gotta get the survey, get the plan.
So let's figure out this, and well, like I said, this is gonna correlate to the budget aspect later on. So like, what do you wanna do as far as this plan?
Go forward with the survey.
Okay.
And drawings are
And-
necessary. Which if I recall Matt saying that that the drawings would be probably added.
And we
They're
can
right
try
there, they're right
and
there.
negotiate.
That's
You
part.
can negotiate that.
I thought he sent us a quote for all this for like 80 something.
He did.
Okay,
I
so we can
remember
get him to match that,
8,000.
we can get him to match that quote.
I said, it makes so much sense, and maybe they can negotiate this price, because you already have spoken with them, so.
Yeah, we did.
So
We
you
did.
could
Any
say-
attorney.
Yeah. I think everybody wins.
Okay, so do you wanna make a motion to move forward with working on this? I mean, do you guys have anything to say though?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Move forward to surveys, okay. So, I'll make a motion, you guys, to move forward, in a survey with Caulfield and Wheeler. I would like to see if we can get it down to like 8,000. So, we you guys can find out. Are you okay with that? This is why I want you, this is, like I said,
I
Listen,
think they all.
this is your baby.
something's better than nothing, okay?
We-
I've had nothing for years. We've had nothing for years. I don't want something bad to happen.
It's just a
If
survey.
somebody rolls into
It's
that
just a
lake on a
survey.
lawnmower, and then all of a sudden, shoulda, woulda, coulda, and it comes back on us,
We think you're being.
and all these
smart.
things get subpoenaed, all these little video courts and the video things, trust
I,
me.
I think it's so smart to get a survey, because you got, then you're linked to so many like that, exactly.
Mm.
You make good decisions without having to like that.
Well, at least we're going into the right direction, right?
Yes, so the board would please vote on it.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve what the one's gonna do. I'll make a motion to approve doing the survey, engineering survey and engineering drawings.
So do Jessica and I still communicate, like, we handle communication? Okay.
You guys, I honestly do think it's about, or like, you be a liaison for the lake aspect. I mean, it's.
I don't have anything to do with the new quotes that they're getting.
No, but-
I'm not privy to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
In your motion, you should set a budget up to a certain amount.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if they, I'd like to get down to 8, that's what I'd like to get down
Yeah,
to
we're
8,
gonna aim for 8.
if we can get down there.
The
But
quote
I
we have
mean,
now is just under 10.
I mean, did he say 8 flat?
I thought it was 8 and 10. I
So
don't
maybe
know.
say
What?
10.
Just say 85.
Yeah, 10 and then we'll
Try to go to 8.
8,500, so, 15
Yeah.
for 8,500.
And,
See if you can get 8.
I mean, you can say that you were in touch with Tom and Joel.
Oh,
And
it's
then
not
you
like-
call-
It's gonna go up to like 12 grand.
Yeah, right.
No, I introduced him, so I mean, they, just reach out to
Oh,
him.
you did?
He asked you guys, like, can I talk to him?
Just tell them.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Quote is lower than this.
You tell them that's.
We'll just like a day, what a day for 8,000.
That is the authority that you have, and you're unable to pay $1 more, and that's what the board gave you.
Okay.
I
You have a
second that, okay?
Oh, you have a second. All in favor?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
So that's gonna bring us, I mean, so that's.
While you're talking, I have a question. This one's gonna be, I think, a very easy one. So 2 turtles come on our sidewalk. Do we put them in the lake, or do we let them?
Just let them go.
If they're snapping, don't touch them.
Don't touch them? Because then what if someone gets hit by a car?
I usually.
Well,
We put it back on.
You take them, put them in.
We do too, but you gotta be careful, cause they will snap.
They will snap.
Or in the canal there. We were just like, worried about getting hit
I
by
wear
a
gloves.
car. We've only been here 2 or 3 months.
Did they come from the lake?
We don't know, they were right in our, right in front of our yards.
If they're land turtle, you don't want to go to the water. What you're supposed to do is whichever direction they're traveling, bring them to that side.
And then just leave them on the side.
Okay, so that, so I mean, that realistically, from the budget standpoint, it's gonna be like, that'll bring us to like 49, 50. So our surplus is like 4,000.
If we spend everything.
If we, yeah, if we, that's what I'm saying, we wouldn't get the budget out. We don't wanna spend everything, but, that's not it, that's what the budget said. Okay, so we're gonna put that, all right, where are we at here? Thank you for doing all that work.
Yeah, great job.
Jessica was a lot to.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sincerely.
For crime. Crime report.
Yeah, so,
We know who took it.
I think Bonnie might have been an eyewitness to this, I'm not sure.
I was eyewitness to you outside at 4:30 in the morning.
Well, that's pretty much when that happened, and I was under the impression that, how I was notified, but, the chopper that was up there at 3:45 in the morning was looking for, a couple people who were breaking into cars over in Hidden Valley. And they stole a car, over on Seneca, if I'm not mistaken.
They broke into the car center.
No, they stole a car on Seneca at 12:45 a.m. And then they broke into a car at 3:45 a.m. on Fairway Trail, on Fairway Trail. They didn't catch them. They had K-9 out there as well. And they were clearing at like 4:30, and they were gone. Like, that's what happened. And so yeah, they were breaking into a Volvo. No, you
Better
have one.
not.
I know.
Better not.
I'm like, but anyway, that's what I found out. That's, yeah. Oh, and also, as far as the camera thing, okay, it was broken off or whatever, and.
I'm the criminal.
No, look, we have 2 extras, because when we bought those 2, they're phony cameras on the south end of the lake. They have little lights on it with a little antenna, and they look like they're real. And so when we bought a 4-pack, Diana ordered a 4-pack. So I have the 2 in my garage in a box. So we'll replace it and put it up there because it looks like it's real. And it has a little flashing light because it's got a little 9-volt battery in it that makes that happen. So, and it's up high.
It fell off.
So I'll
I saw it on the
okay.
ground and I picked it up. I said to Joe, what should I do with it?
Joel and I are gonna put it right back up there. What else? So, at the annual meeting, I don't know if you guys heard, there's a new police department that they're proposing. It's gonna be on the vote, over near Spanish, by the library on Spanish Trail. It's a $175 million project, I was told. It's gonna be probably beautiful. I said, you guys are gonna have a great lake view over there, because they're gonna be right on that lake. But I think it's gonna be good for us, because where the PD is now is practically in Broward County. And
A new
they don't
police
have any
station?
substations up there, huh?
A new police station or department?
Yeah.
This is gonna be a whole new,
It's all dependent on the downtown thing happening, so.
so they wanna reach out to church organizations, HOAs, schools, whatever, neighborhood communities, whatever. and they asked if they can come to our annual meeting. And the officer said, he goes, I'll do a prime thing at the same time. He says, but if anybody has a Q&A, we can do, Q&A with it as well. He says it's about a 45-minute presentation. So I didn't even tell the board this because I just found this out. So we want to do this?
What?
We want to have them come to the annual meeting?
Right.
Annual meeting's gonna be here, right?
For 45 minutes?
Yeah.
For how long?
Can they consolidate?
It's in a day.
But just telling us they're gonna be a new presentation.
Well,
Scott's
okay,
here's not
well, we'll
coming.
give them a
Make
half
it
hour, is that
short.
fair?
Yeah.
We'll tell them just 30, we have 30 minutes for you?
15?
Yeah.
They want, you know what they want, and at the end of the day.
Donations?
No, they want our vote. They want the vote,
But
right?
it's a bond, you have to vote on a referendum bond to have it done.
But it's happening in March, and then we are
Well,
meeting
they're
in
more likely to
February.
get a vote with a 15-minute presentation than a 45.
Right, that's true.
Yeah. We're having a 5-minute presentation.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
okay, that's all I have for March. You wanna talk about the lighting out there? Or is that, or that comes under new business, I guess? Yeah, we had a little bit of an expense on the, front entrance with the berm lights.
Struck by lightning.
Yeah.
Beautification. The other one. Zarellas?
Gorillas have it, now, yes, and Wendy have it.
Architectural review submissions.
Which I have.
Oh, Gabrielle.
These two?
Yeah, I signed Gabby's because it's simply a replacement of her roof, it's exactly the same thing.
Okay.
And she's gonna get this one. This one, we're gonna have to look at this because it's a lot on this property, it's on.
Who's this?
The people who moved into.
Nicole
Justice
Justice.
House. Nicole
Nicole
Justice House.
Justice.
Yes, they were adding on, rooms,
In addition?
putting a metal roof on and all, but yeah, addition in several places.
Okay.
But she's got architectural
Yeah,
drawings
drawings.
attached here. And then the other one's Diana's driveway.
So you have the drawing on here?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's you.
As long as it's within, permits are getting done.
You're going back towards the canal?
We are on the left side of the property, so we wanna do an addition back there. And then we also wanna add a bedroom on the front of our house, to make it a 4-3.
Is that enclosing by the front door?
Yeah, cause we don't use that space in the front.
You have an architect involved? Wow. No, I get it, I did the same thing, similar, I mean, but,
Oh, really?
yeah. Put
Okay.
an addition on the back end of the house, I had to get a variance. I had to go before planning and zoning.
I mean,
Hire a lawyer and an architect, I wish you a lot of luck. I don't think,
Oh, it's okay, time. It's taking time. We're doing
I mean, they have their setbacks and all that stuff, you gotta,
Yeah, 12.5 feet setback
yeah,
Yeah.
but you can apply for a variance too.
variance.
Yeah, if you're like, close and you need like 4 feet or something. But planning and zoning has to, approve it, and you have to go before that, that's where the lawyer.
I'll sign it. Yeah,
Well, that would be nice.
Can I wanna see it.
Have to be a certain shape, because the architect drew it based upon the setbacks, so if we can get variance, then that would be nice to be able to have like a normal shape to our house.
Instead of a pie.
Yeah, instead of a pie shape, which would be awkward, for any closets.
Furniture.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
Oh, you can,
We're not gonna do the right-hand side, right?
Oh.
We're gonna do the left-hand side.
actually, it's like this, though, it's kind of,
But she had to draw it, our architect had to draw it. The
alright.
first step is the fence. Just fence.
She put a seawall in there, didn't she?
I think so, but first step 1 is a fence.
Yeah.
So our dogs have a fence.
Kathy, who's the third?
Gabrielle, she's on,
No, I got Gabrielle, I got Chris and Stephanie, Diana.
Diana. Diana.
Yes,
I'll make a motion that we approve it.
Well,
Yeah, I
you
just
don't-
got
don't all-
Diana's slip
don't all-
yesterday, so.
Okay.
What's she doing?
Huh?
What's she doing?
She's doing a circular driveway and changing her roof, metal.
This is Diana speaking of which.
Yes.
That's what I was wondering.
I was wondering that too. No, I don't know if it's because of the padding.
Must have
It's-
been.
All right, so let's go to the next one.
Where's that, where's that thing? What does that thing to say?
So, come on.
It's not here, it's from the
All right, so we'll make a motion to approve all those?
Yes, Ryan.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve
There's two.
Gabriel Michel, Chris and Stephanie DeMarco,
Mhm.
and then Diana Cristiano's architectural improvement.
So all three approved, I'll second that.
Favor?
Really?
All right, old business? Is there any?
No, it's been-
No? Eli says there's none. He has the best memory of all, so there's no business. Okay, new business.
Well, we discussed this before.
Do we wanna do the budget first or
You
after?
wanna, you guys know what happened with the lights, we're trying and we had there was probably a lightning strike according to our electrician. I took pictures of the lights, it's all black through there, and he indicated that, so showed Joe the pictures as well. So 3 lights, he had to order them, for the front.
So was
He had
the
3
landscape-
GFIs, sorry?
Landscaper, you guys have landscaper probably cut them? Was it?
No, these are the berm lights, those
They were
expensive
berm
berm lights. So,
And GFI,
that
it all
was,
worked out.
that was probably over $1,000, right?
I didn't see no approval.
You paid it.
No, I think.
You didn't pay our bill?
Oh, you mean the
You
sign?
didn't pay that?
No.
He's been on me, he's sending me.
Trying to spend his money, Tom.
Yeah, but you can't, you get something, you gotta pay for it, you get, anyway, okay, so, and we went back and forth, I got a couple extra string lights, 50% off, they're on a wheel, we can save them for next year. I did buy one extra because that one tree went out, they work pretty good. Joe and I, he taped the outlets, I bubble wrapped the connections, and thank you Eli and Kathy's husband Craig for helping out with that, with the ladder and whatnot. You did most of the work, I think, but regardless, we did it, it was teamwork, so I think we should, people should know that.
What about the reeds?
What?
The reeds?
I take
One
them
was
out.
lit, one wasn't.
The light, something's wrong with the light, we don't know. The battery's what it is.
But they're
So we,
new?
we can take them off and wrap them.
Were they new?
Lights on there. Huh?
Were they new, those reeds?
I don't know what those were. They were in storage.
Oh.
Yeah, one of them's not working yet,
It's time for them to go back on.
so.
Okay.
I do have a receipt though, so hopefully I can get reimbursed, it's like, just a little over $100.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So,
Show.
I'll sign them at the end. I'll look at them all at the end.
Okay.
All right. The budget. Why are you all here for this year? So, this budget was created, was based off of last year's. Obviously, the big discussion. Tom, you can, go into your, I'm not in motion right now, but we'll discuss it all.
Okay.
So, there's been talk the last 2 years now about bringing the dues back to 700, where they used to be. Obviously Comcast was canceled. That was before me, but, I'm just looking at all these projects I've seen you done. I drive around, I see the berm. There's trees that need to be torn out there that are dead. There's all these costs, not just the lake. There's a lot of costs that I see. And we can't just exhaust everything and spend it all on this at once. But I just keep going back to, and I know it doesn't, some people it's hard, but they used to be set to 700. No, I don't wanna raise them, it's the last thing I wanna do, to be honest. That's why I'd rather have a study, because we all have good opinion. Tiffany and, Jessica put together a proposal, and, it looks good in writing. Tom got his, and everything looks good, so I don't think any of us are wrong in our viewpoints. My biggest thing I've always said is I wanna make sure that there's no assessment for people. That's always been my concern, because some people never know if fixed income, but it's not gonna bother me if I get assessed, some people it will. And that's my main concern is, if something does happen, when we have to do an assessment, or the city comes to assess us for anything. I'm not saying they will, but worst case scenario, some people can't afford that. And I think in the long term, it's, you know, $100 a year or $200 a year, you know, is easier. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know what you guys think. I know, you know, some of you guys wanna raise it, but this isn't just about the lake. This is the long, and this is why I'd love for you guys to go do the research yourselves. Go, you know, research, like how should we allocate our funds to a POA? Like where's that money go to? How should we budgeting? How should reserves set up? What percent should we have? All of that, there's a lot out there, but I don't think anyone understands that. I do look into it, it's part of my industry, so I'm knowledgeable to it. And dues typically do go up 3 to 5% a year. Condo dues go up, communal gardens, they, you know, 10 years ago they were $300 a year, they're $1,100 now almost.
That's a
So-
condo.
No, those are single family homes, and they're similar to us, they have no gated,
Yeah.
Poor
Probably
management.
got gates and.
Well, they have the 2 entry points.
roads and-
Well, they don't have roads, that's the thing, like, they're all, but, again, I don't know what their management looks like, but that's why I would like, we've never had it done. I'm not a professional, you know, accountant for this stuff, I'm not a property manager, but I do think we need a survey done from a professional to look at ourselves, give an audit, see where we're putting, so we don't have a reserve, we've never had one, we should have had one 20 years ago set up. There should be, you know, 10, 15 grand going that every year for these repairs and improvements.
We had a surplus.
We have a surplus, but not a reserve.
Well, the 80 grand is the reserve.
It's a surplus, it's not a reserve. So you have to have them separated.
Operating expenses are
You're gonna have
involved.
another, you're
You
gonna
have
have
to have
another
an-
account with
correct.
homeowners funds.
Because we're
and
limited to
zero
how much we
interest.
can have in a
Right,
surplus.
so you're gonna have 2 accounts, you're gonna
Correct,
have this account and then an additional account.
correct.
But that 80 grand
And-
can go towards.
Yeah, but we need to keep 6 months. That's what we
Yeah.
look at the numbers. We need to keep 6 months of operating, okay? And then you also still have 10% contingencies for not improvements of like electrical light, stuff like that, unforeseen
My
repairs.
fear is if we have so much, we're gonna go back to spending things on
The
unnecessary
city
things,
does.
like an emergency fence, like the legal fees.
That's what the city
Like
does.
the community
Well,
parties.
so the thing is, so say, you know,
Yeah, we
we
haven't
put,
spent it, yeah.
okay, but say we transfer it. I just said, let's set up that reserve account. And then, so what was that, 27, I think it was?
Shouldn't the new board all
Is it-
figure all this out too?
And things can always be changed, like, that's the thing, but again, I'm torn a million different ways, I'll be honest, I don't know, like, how people feel, but my honest feeling is, it's cheaper, not cheaper, but like more effective, efficient for people, and here's an extra $100, it used to be, a majority of us paid $700.
When I had cable.
When you had cable, but we still had, we never had the electrical pump support.
Yeah,
We never had
inflation was not
electrical
nearly
pump
as much
support,
either.
we have other things we're doing.
So that's why it's $1,000.
That's why we just wanna see.
Yeah, but we never had it
like,
before.
This
that
is-
meeting.
So,
I'm sorry.
Ah,
so I'm torn, everyone's torn, but like, and I wanna transfer that money, create a reserve, take, you know, whatever, $60,000. So say we transfer that, we start moving this lake, and we burn through that money like that, now we're out. We don't have a reserve fund, and that's my biggest concern, is seeing like right now, just by doing the, you know, this year we had a $14,000 surplus. I'd love to have that next year. We don't know where we're gonna be at next year with the lake project and the survey. That's where, you know, if we go up, it can offset those costs. And again, this is just my 2 cents. I don't know what you guys have to say, but that's just my 2 cents. I don't know, I still don't know what the right thing to do
The
is.
electricity here, that's just for the sign, the 2,000?
No, so the lake, aerators, then the electrical up front.
Okay.
We have 2 of those, yeah. And then the pumps for the sprinklers.
we have sprinkler pump.
So we never had that until, you know, the city, we had to redo it, and the city was like, you know, you gotta maintain this all.
But the sprinkler pump, that's for the water, for where, for around the lake?
No, that's up front, the main entrance.
Each individual homeowner that lives on the lake pays their own sprinkler pump and
Right.
maintenance on it.
And that's a
No
requirement
water.
for us to have that vegetation and lighting and sign everything? Because it seems like a waste, because like everybody drives through there and sees a sign, but they go up on Ferry Trail, and they go to, you know, Big Valley and so on, but we're paying everybody else's.
We are. That's it.
Yeah, but that's required, right? We have to.
That's our biggest issue with the
You
city.
said these lights burned out from,
Lighting strike.
do we have certain protections on it? Because. like,
We have
otherwise we're gonna
GFIs.
be doing this
Yeah,
a lot.
it actually destroyed 3 GFIs as well.
So it didn't
And
get
it
back
was
to the
probably
box.
from the October late rain event, because you noticed it too, Bonnie, and you mentioned on the email. And And the electrician said, he goes, "It's not my first rodeo here." He said, "This is what," he said, "You see this little black guy? I have pictures on the phone on it." And I'm like, "Yeah," he goes, "Lightning more or less ran through there. And the ground was saturated that, you know, we had 8 inches of rain and then out 2 hours or something. But, yeah, so, yeah, we had to replace 3 of them. Why has it only hit 3? Why didn't it knock out all 6? He says lightning's funny that day.
Can we have a price on how much it would cost you to do that reserve city and then have a meeting about whether or not we should increase the?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask, like a budget, like, I don't know what they cost, I looked them up, I called to today, then it was appointment tomorrow. So I mean, if you Google it, it says anywhere from 800 to 1200 for a small community like this, I don't know what's actually gonna be.
When you say budget, right, are we budgeting to not having an attorney here every time we have a meeting?
Yes.
Are we budgeting to?
I don't want to
You're late to the party.
You're late, you should've came right on time, you would've heard.
Yeah.
I don't want
I was in traffic with my son.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems.
Okay, but, no, so,
And then that money there, yeah.
so the whole thing is, you know, we're getting up there, we're gonna do these projects, we're not gonna be having that surplus to put in the reserve. We're gonna be breaking even, burning out, and we're not gonna have our 6 months either, we're gonna run through all that at one time.
Because historically in the past, this HOA has spent like 20 grand for some of that rocks in their driveway. They spent
legal
money
fees,
on legal
yeah,
fees.
that was
They spent-
disappointing.
Yeah, then we have an attorney here every time, like almost every meeting I've been here, there's an attorney. He says we're paying for what? We're having an attorney to govern us for like.
Well, that's what we're changing, that's why I said I don't wanna see the attorney at all.
Changing that.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
want-
going this way, and now we're adding more feet. more
Okay, so I'm
work.
gonna say it again.
Yeah.
I said it before, no, only 3 here. I want us to be a communal group. At Collegial Manor, we're neighbors, we're adults, we can figure things out on our own. We don't need to have Larry come, we don't need emails coming from any of us, okay? To him, to have him come here and dictate to us. We can figure these things out. I don't wanna see a bill from this year, except for the annual meeting, that's it. Okay, that's what I said earlier, like, we are grown adults, we should be acting like neighbors, not bickering, going back and forth. Past is behind us. Okay, we're going for it, and that's it. So that's why I'm saying, like, so the attorney, I don't wanna see him here. He's a good guy, sure, but I don't wanna see him here, we don't need to pay him. Like, the stuff we've been dealing with, we can figure out.
So the lake project's gonna cost X.
Right. Well,
We don't know what it's gonna cost. We know what a survey is gonna cost. That's the concern. If he comes in and all of a sudden a lot more needs to be done than we think needs to be done, we need a lot more.
I would hate to be assessed by the city later when we can be above, instead of being,
Excuse me, F the damn city, F the damn taxes. They've stolen trillions from us over the past decades. Enough's enough. I could care less about what the city says, I really could.
Okay.
well,
Okay.
if they come after us at some point in time because we're not doing anything, hopefully we will, and that we are. And we have a committee involved, which helps us as a board, me as the lake person or whatever you want to say. Yeah, but
No,
I
it
will.
does, but we were just talking about, like, the attorney was going to send a letter to the city, so like, we're kind of like talking out of both sides of our mouth here.
Not necessarily, because
Okay.
we were rolling the dice with it in a sense too, because we were thinking, we were contemplating, and this was brought up by someone who's not here. And she said, why don't you contact the city, maybe they can help us out. And I'm like, they may, but then they may not.
I think
So-
I've said that in the past too.
Jessica said it.
I said it once a year ago.
Okay, so let's discuss the budget.
But it's okay, I mean, I'm not
What
saying
about the
anything.
7 places that it said it was aesthetic and all that stuff?
Okay, let's
No?
discuss
Don't
it.
talk about that?
I think, I have it down that we go back to $700 a year, but I would be more than willing to.
I don't, like-
If we're talking money, then at least, why don't we just do it 600? That's $8 more a month for each homeowner.
What difference is that gonna make?
I don't
It's
think
gonna
there's
put a
like
reserve out.
I don't
It's
think
gonna
there's an
make a
issue
re-
with having a reserve, like,
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
things that are gonna come
Yeah,
up.
but
But
we're-
I think that what people are concerned about is if there's money that's in a pot, then it's going to be spent in a way that we're not agreeing to. So that's why everybody's so hesitant. And if we waited to get the survey and then maybe talked about the reserve and did things incrementally, then people, the whole hesitation is because they think it's gonna go to the lake. that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can we just figure out what's happening with the lake and then figure out what we need to do past that? But I also say, guys, like, it's not a bad idea to have a reserve, because there are things that.
I agree, but this lake is a one-time thing, right? I don't see having to redo this whole thing, put in a sock system or
10 years.
whatever. So it's a one-time thing, so yeah, rates may go up or things go up, but then it has to come down.
Well, we don't know what it would be either.
Right.
We have no clue what they're gonna come back after this, and so, but these are the concerns that I have. If they do come back, oh, it's a lot more, like, we don't have big money. Well, here's a $1,500 assessment fee, sorry, I didn't bring it to you, we didn't work on this ourselves. So it's stuff like that that we don't know.
Can I just reiterate something back on, I'm sorry to go back, but, back in February of 2024, and this is Gary Wilhelm from Solitude.
This is what it takes to be.
He said, Sock's proposal, he says, Tom, we can't quote work that won't be done until next year. Because I was asking him, how about give us a quote next year and a year after, yeah. He says, we can't quote work that won't be done until next year and a year after. That's why there's a cost difference. We can still do the entire lake for $190,000 if you do everything this year all at once. But putting fill in there is not a good idea. It will just wash into the lake after every rainstorm.
Okay.
This is,
Not at all.
Let's, okay,
So
let's,
can we agree
let's
to
just start,
table
we
the
are,
due conversation until we do our homework?
Isn't there dirt there now? And this, I mean, how old is this community? Like, how
you
long-
saw the pictures, man. I mean, it's, you know, it's this and worse. It's bad. It's bad. I mean, look at Sandra's tree. It's ready to go away. That's not really
Is it
safe.
all the way around the lake, you like, you
Yeah.
have? you
No,
have-
not the whole lake.
I'm
No,
not saying
south
that
and the west
because you might
side.
get upset because I live on the lake.
This
I live on
this
the
is
lake.
how, you saw this before, right?
For what?
This is how it used to look, and this is how it looks now.
Can we table the discussion until we have facts to review? That's our request, my request at least.
Now, in my place, I live for over
Like, if I
25
go to
years. on the
700,
lake.
it's not enough. I'm sorry.
I live over 25 years, so I live on the lake. All the trees, they're right, all the way inside.
Right.
Now, this part, it's not mine. So if something happened, the community has to pay for it.
Right.
So that's why he said, do it today or tomorrow, you gotta do it. If we have an apartment building, if we live in an apartment building, the last floor has leaking, the first floor has to pay for it.
Right.
So that's where everybody has to share. That's the way it is. That's, take it or leave it, that's the way it is.
Right.
You live in a community with a pool, and you don't use that pool, you say,
That's
hey, look,
right.
I got my own
That's
pool,
the
I'm
way
not
it
going to
is.
that community pool, why do I
Right,
gotta pay
but
for
you got a
maintenance of that
good
pool?
point. You said this one spot.
Right.
So why, it's like, we're going back and forth because when we're, like, as a homeowner, I don't wanna revamp the entire lake and create a city walk.
Well,
for-
That's
let
that's
the
why-
people
that's
come,
why
let the people come and look.
To
Right.
get
Let
a
the
survey.
idea is great.
Let the people come and look at it.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can
So
see-
they already voted on it. Yeah, there's no point
Yeah.
to
It's
talk
already
about
voted,
it.
so we're good. Now it's just-
Not the entire.
so this is all, like I said, this correlates into this discussion, because now our budget's changed.
Chris, not the entire lake
So,
needs.
the surplus is
Just a
there.
few areas.
Sorry, you got welcome to this.
Thank you, good luck. You have your paperwork, it's signed, right?
But Joe,
Wait,
you say
give it to
700
Here,
is what
you're gonna need
it's
this.
be. It
Yes,
may not be
I
enough.
told.
Maybe too much. We don't know.
We don't-
Surveys.
Oh, let's take a copy of
Is there things like a voluntary reserve fund? Yeah,
No,
could there,
no.
No, it's like all or nothing, I guess, huh? I feel for the people who don't live on the lake regarding the lake matter. However, there are safety concerns involved with this as well. Don't look down on it, Stephanie, it's
No one
it's
said
fact.
anything about
Let's
safety in
not-
all the
I mean,
requests. Stop trying to fear
Let's not,
longer.
it's out there, it's known, there's something that needs to
Why are
be
we still
done.
talking about it? We're doing the survey, then we can talk about the results. And
Yeah,
then,
let's move ahead.
opinions
You
will
guys-
matter.
Just,
Eli wants to go home, so do I.
I mean, I have stuff to do, you're right with me, so.
I'm almost thinking we should change the 9 maximum to 20 maximum.
well, I wanna do the survey.
We vote.
It's gotta be
Yeah.
on the
You
ballot.
voted for the survey?
No,
The other survey.
Oh,
do as an
that.
HOH, like, I wanna see where we really stand, you know, from
to.
So I want that done.
See how much it is. And then-
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe
Do
the
you wanna
next
give me a
meeting,
budget or you wanna?
can we review how much that is and then the survey results?
Hey, John,
Yeah.
if we vote for $700,
Logic doesn't exist.
Huh?
we vote for $700. We did
Well,
vote.
we should, you wanna do it?
Tabled.
Go ahead.
We did vote.
Yes, we did, a year
So why are we
ago.
talking about it again?
Well,
We did.
because we have to make it official and have a discussion about it, and somebody has to make a motion if you wanna raise the dues.
We did.
Well, hang on, so you're here, hang on. So you're at 700 here, how about this? Okay. We do the study, the reserve study, we'll get change for that. What if we increased it just for, until we get the study back? So let's say we increase it to 600 for this year. That 600 would offset, to bring us back to a normal surplus, would offset the cost
The
of the
survey
survey
and the drawings.
and the drawings. So that's $100 for 1 year. Now, that being said, if we come back with get the survey done for the HOA stuff, we can always reduce it. We can always increase it. We don't know what they're gonna say, so we can always reduce things. We don't have to have it set. Like I said, my biggest concern is assuring ourselves because of, this work. So,
Joel, it's never gonna be reduced. Ever.
you have me on screen?
That's like.
If we're able to reduce it, we will reduce it if that's what they suggest. I have no problem with it, I don't wanna spend it.
That's like.
Yeah,
that's
my
like- that would
concern
never
with
happen,
getting
ever.
a random
But-
person
Sounds
coming
nice,
here.
but that
So
would
that's,
happen.
if you guys are at 700, that's my suggestion, 'cause I don't, and then if we need to go up later on from the suggestions and the work needs to be done, they'll go 700 then.
You'd be
My
willing to
suggestion-
come down to at least to 600 as?
And it's just for this year.
For this year.
So, and that'll be the motion. If the study says that, we don't need to be at 600, we can be, back to where we were, and we can put the money away, that our HOA is healthy, then we can revert it back.
Joel, you're saying you're raising?
Huh?
I'll
To
listen.
600, they're saying 700, so
No,
I'm saying I wanna get the study done.
I'll come down. I
To
mean, that's-
600.
To something anyway.
Why up any?
Yeah,
Take
why?
all the money.
It should be
Because
700.
right now, we're,
You can
we're,
go next month.
but we're not.
This
gonna-
is,
Hang on.
this is a board.
Okay,
right?
let's collegial, so this is, okay, it's $100. One time, I know, my argument is because our surplus is down from that. This is why. Because that 10,000, that's what makes up the difference. For 1 year. You have me on camera saying 1 year. We'll do the study. If they say, your guys' dues are good and everything, you can bring it back down, we'll bring it back down. My main concern is this entire community is healthy. This isn't about us four, this isn't about everyone here, it's everybody. I don't want to see anyone get assessed, and again, the dues, what the cheapest around. So I really want to get a professional opinion of where we are as an HOA, or POA, not an HOA, POA, because we've never had a reserve fund, we've never had this stuff professionally looked at before. We've been winging it, literally, for 40 years they've been doing this. So that's my main concern. We're all gonna live here for a long time. So last thing I wanna see is any of us get assessed, or have an unhealthy, community. That's my main concern. So, I would say
You
do,
don't have much to be
On that
assessed.
note,
we do.
You can't wait 1 month till 9 people cash out.
And we have data.
we have insurance costs rising, canal maintenance and lake maintenance is going
Right,
up.
can we talk about the report for insurance?
You have a quote for insurance for,
Jessica had noticed someone in the field and she said she's happy to get another quote.
We'll get more quotes, yeah. That's
but
fine,
in the
yeah.
meantime, and if that's that, we'll look at it and we'll review it.
And I want to get
And if
everyone
it-
on the sports we can collectively talk about it. So that's the thing, but it's like, again, it's like, we have to think about everyone else who's not here.
But doesn't, when you have, okay, so like you said, 40 years, right, you're rated. Okay, but.
But there's
like,
never a
when you
reserve
have
fund
this-
set up.
Right, but when it's low, doesn't that kind of steer you away from like wasteful spending? Because you say, okay, we got a budget spend, right? It's like you're on a fixed income.
It is, but when you have
That's-
but you have big maintenance repairs to do, you don't have the money. That's where we're at right now. And this should have been set up, and this is why I want you guys to research this stuff and look, and you'll understand, because
We
these
don't
things,
have big maintenance
What
yet.
big maintenance do we have now?
That's.
the lake's gonna become, I don't want to
Maybe,
deal with it.
maybe.
It's going to. I don't want to deal with it when it does.
Maybe.
I don't want anyone to get assessed letter.
What happens if somebody,
Okay, you guys
what
can
happens if
gamble on
somebody
it.
hits the?
I'm off the board, you guys deal with it. I'm serious, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Okay,
You guys deal with it yourselves. I'm dead serious.
Joe,
Have fun. I'm done with this.
Joe,
You guys, come on.
wait a minute, we are a board, we don't need the audience to make a motion.
No,
Let's do it. In fact, you know what, I'll make it a motion right now, that I was gonna say 700, but we'll raise it to 600.
no, this is a one-time thing for now. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's get our study done.
I feel you, okay.
This is
I'm-
what you have to
I
look
have a
at.
motion on the floor. And I'm putting a motion on the floor, and my motion is that we increase the dues from $500 to $600 a year, period.
For 1 year, we'll reduce them. We'll have a study done. This is my motion. If the study says it can be brought back and we can, build health reserves, then we can bring them back.
Fine.
Or we can bring it back to a whole
If you're gonna have a study
discussion.
done in 1 month, then why
Fine.
don't you just do
Yeah.
it in 1 month, and like have the
Fine.
study done? Why are we
Oh,
in
yeah,
a
fine.
panic
Let's
to
wait for
like
them.
do that?
You guys, I just
Because
want to have a
that's-
study done.
that's-
I just want to
But
have a
it
study
it
done.
just doesn't even make sense, like, let's have a study done,
Okay.
or let's go ahead and increase the dues. I don't even care, it just doesn't make sense logically.
That's
I don't
right.
care, $100, $200, it just means nothing to me.
Okay, we'll do the study.
This is,
Okay, let's,
it's gonna be back and forth.
So make your motion.
Make the motion that we raise from $500 to $600 a year.
Kathy has something. What Kathy?
No, I was gonna say, let's get the study done,
Okay.
find out what the
the
situation
way,
is.
let's wait.
This is,
So,
it's just,
Joey,
nothing's
you have a
happening
motion.
here.
You got two motions on the floor.
Then you can discuss.
Does
Yeah.
anyone want to second Tom's motion to raise them from 500 to 600 a year?
I would like to, but the way I see it, very wait.
This is a
Okay.
board, you collectively as a
Yeah.
I
board.
know, we're gonna have,
I feel like
Does anyone,
So
okay.
If you don't have the motion.
I feel it.
Motion,
We're all
motion,
set.
does-
I
motion-
feel we're gonna have, I can see that.
I mean, for the 1 year, I think that's more than,
Ma-
We vote for $700.
You might wanna.
Do you
do
want
$700.
We don't know what to say.
You might do a study and realize we need more.
That's- we don't know what it's gonna be.
So why do it now? You might need to say we need 7, and then it is what it is. If we're gonna depend on the study, then that's.
let's do the
what'd you
study.
say, Eric?
So I think people aren't understanding why you came up with $100. Excuse me. The $100 that he came up with is to cover the roughly $10,000 or whatever it was for the survey.
Survey and
That's where he came up with $100. So basically be a wash.
But now we're
That
gonna
doesn't
Yeah.
even for or against
Cover.
was trying to explain.
Rationalize the
you know,
logic
what
of it.
Joel's
But we're gonna
idea is.
spend way less on legal fees this year, so that'll.
Hopefully,
Right?
if everyone,
So there's your $2,000.
okay, so. All right, motion dies for lack of a second. Does anyone want to motion Kathy?
You second or no?
No, I'm just saying, do the study. My motion is do the study,
So do you want to make a motion to do the study
yes.
and have it for the annual meeting and then?
And hopefully have the survey for the.
So now, the survey, let me ask you this, okay, the motion's dead, right?
Your motion's dead, Kathy's hasn't.
So if the survey comes back and they say, well, it's gonna cost this much more,
We can then go and look at our budget and see what we can trim for one.
but we're not gonna raise the dues.
We may or we may not. I think
See,
that's something
this
you
is what I
discuss
don't
at the time,
understand.
right?
We are not a board.
Right.
We are letting, and I
I
get
know,
it, we're all
I know.
members, okay?
We're all
But there's a
neighbors.
board,
Neighbors.
but there's a board of directors.
Okay,
And,
so
and,
then
and that's
we'll
who,
have a bit of opinion
you know,
that
in
you
Lake
listen to.
Charleston, my buddy wasn't happy either. He doesn't live on the lake and they raised his dues and all of a sudden he had to pay. You know what I mean? But
Okay, so,
we're being so,
It's a month.
you know, over and above and beyond. And, you know, you're talking about, like I said, $8.33 a month
It's not the point. It's
more.
not the point.
And then we're able to at least pay for this study. And if it's more than that, then it comes out of our reserves. What happens if this study comes back and it's cost $12,000?
it's not.
Then we'll move it.
Right? I mean,
I've explained my thoughts. I would like to watch this no matter what. That's my concern, because we have a shortfall, we don't have a projected surplus of 9,500. We have a surplus of about 33 or 3,400, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's my concern, is that we're shortfalling ourselves this year. Now, again, the study comes back, says you need more, then we can, I don't know, I don't have an answer. I don't wanna raise them, but I also, don't want to see assessment, it's, I don't. It's up to you.
who we voted last time. Why we haven't discussed it?
Eli keeps on saying we voted on this last time
Why we haven't discussed it again?
for $700.
We vote for that.
We did, you're
So
right.
we don't have to answer it.
Why wasn't that carried through? I don't get it.
Because Larry said to wait till the annual meeting, the annual budget meeting.
To here, to now.
Yeah,
Oh.
to look into it all that, so.
So we're looking into
So I mean,
it,
that's
but we're
what,
not,
like,
we're not
my whole
doing
thing
it.
last year was, I want a year of no spending. We freaking blew, you know, we blew through the doors on attorney's fees this year. We put $30,000 away, but it didn't happen.
It's gonna cost more this year.
No, it's not. I'm gonna call them and tell them not.
No,
one's-
not the lawyers, but extra stuff. You gotta have a lot of stuff that's coming up.
I know, we have to pay for it.
Everything's going up in the trade.
Mhm.
So,
Wait till those aerators go out too, that's 10 grand.
Less is more.
And they don't last forever.
Build them into.
okay, so.
Less is more.
They don't last forever, guys.
Anyway, it's.
My
You're
gut.
running 24/7.
But the infiltration,
No, the aerators.
gearing,
Yeah.
So is there any harm in waiting a month?
For you, I know that you said you don't want Larry to come to the meetings anymore, which again.
I just don't want the bills.
No, I
Just
understand.
come voluntarily, please.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
want the bills.
disagreeing with you. Is he gonna come to the annual meeting?
That's the only meeting he should come to is that one. That's one
That's
I've
not
ever.
the question answered. And if I can make a suggestion, he should run that meeting. When I've been here, he sits in the chair and he doesn't really run the meeting.
Yeah.
He should be running the meeting.
He has in the
He's not on
past.
board.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know what you're
Yeah,
saying,
so-
but typically on the meeting, yeah, he's just sitting on a chair and then,
Yeah.
then I negotiate with him, I'm like, Larry, can you knock down the price a little bit? And,
He needs to be the one running the meeting.
yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
Not that you aren't capable of it, but you're paying him a lot of money and that's his area of expertise.
We're gonna be expanding too. How many people from here are coming on the board? 2. 3?
And then,
Aaron?
no.
No, yeah, Aaron too.
Carmen, but
Carmen.
not.
So actually, we have 4 from the audience that are coming on board to join us for it. So that's
So
8.
three more
Yes.
this.
You three.
Yeah.
Eli said he didn't want to do it.
No, I do my space.
Okay, let's just figure it out. There you go.
So it would be more easy, you don't have to vote, you know?
6 months.
It'd be more easy.
Well, like I say, my concern is a shortfall for the surplus. That's my own concern.
will it change in a month? Like it'll be a problem if we vote in a month
After the survey.
after the survey?
That's a study?
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
I don't think
You
so.
have 3 against 6.
Well, if the study suggests it, it's kind of,
Yeah,
you know,
and it's hard to.
and even, at the same
Hopefully we
time,
have the
like,
engineering program, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
By
1, 2, 3,
seeing
4.
the bid that you
4.
guys got, oh, guys, I'm telling you.
and we're gonna have to pay for this somehow. That's all I
Gonna
mean.
be up there.
We're gonna have to.
That's why we have to do little chunks at a time.
If it's proven. It's not a step.
'Cause
Well, I mean, like these numbers, that's the thing, you have to look at this number and then take out the 6 months. This doesn't work that way. If that money's not there, it's not like I'm trying to say, like, we can't go off, that's the example, we can't go off the 81, we gotta go off of, like, 59. So that's the thing, like, this doesn't work at 59, so that's why, like, they gotta go up.
But again, that's doing everything, right?
Yeah,
What we know for sure we're gonna pay for
and
is
hopefully,
that
I mean, that's if it's that number.
93.
Okay,
We're still hoping to
$86,000.
get down to 80.
Which I-
Right, there's $86,000 in the account.
There's
It's gonna
5
be good
taken
for
out
a
for
month.
insurance. So that's like, the numbers on here showing ending reserve balance, but that's not really the reserve balance.
But we
Because
can't use that money.
we can't use it all. We have to keep, we need to keep 6 months for operating. Like, we're crazy to take all that money out and not have, backup for operating
You
emergencies.
should have at least.
No, but 10
Yes.
grand to cover the,
No, yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying transfer the amount we can transfer reserve, but keep 6 months for our operating and then 10% for contingency repairs. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we can't go off of any reserve balance of our full balance. We have to look at the whatever it is, 25, 26, less 10, so less 5, so call it 32. So
we'll
80
get
so
your
that's like
quote for your
50.
survey, we'll try and negotiate down this cost of this survey, or even give it a month, see where we land.
Because that's the whole point of study, like they'll allocate these funds, this one needs to go to, that's why we know we're dealing with it. Right now, we're just, you know, talking numbers that are very online and talk to people about.
Joe, your survey, your survey is for the amount of funds. Right?
It's a study to see, are we charging enough dues? We don't have reserve, are we doing, reserves properly? Like everything, to see if we're properly running.
Is it like Campbell? Because I have another house that has Campbell property management.
Yeah,
Another
Bill.
house in Point Beach.
Yeah.
And it's like insane what they do with it. Like they just burn through it. They do this and this and that. It's like, I mean, their views might be different. It might be a spending.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they're, yeah.
process.
And I talked to
Very
Bill.
conservative here, you know, or, well, this is like you said, 40 years this way, and it's been tight, and it's been, less is more.
Yeah.
Well, not really, but hopefully not more 40 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, this would be an independent, I wouldn't use Campbell, I talked to Bill, and I talked to him last year about being a manager, because if I were to be, we were to be your manager at Campbell, you have to increase it at least 3 times.
Well, that's-
So we're not doing it, I'm like, no, that's not what I need.
That's-
So I just want to do a study, independent from a, not a managing company, but they're engineers, everything, they come and look at everything, because they look at, okay, what do you maintain? So they have to look at all our common areas, what our costs are, and they have to look at all that stuff, they have to see the trees, hey, these could potentially fall on a fence, break a fence, or a screen, or fall on, we don't know. So they come and look at that, and then they say, here's our take on it, here's where you guys are, here's where you need to be, or you're good. I don't know, but we've never done that. So that's what I really want to see. That's my main concern. If we're spending a ton of money on all this, that's, we haven't done anything like this.
It's a volunteer board though, you don't think with 9 people you all can hash it out? Figure it out?
You really, I think we all have good opinions. All of our things look great on
But I mean,
paper.
as Jim, as Tom said,
Tom.
you're a board, so
Yeah.
we don't really, with 9 people though, they can
Yeah.
just have it.
it out
Yeah.
now, look at.
But they'll set benchmark for that. We need a benchmark of where we need to be at. We don't have it.
But after 40 years, we're still.
We don't
business.
because we don't have a reserve. We should have had a reserve account 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
I think you said you had.
No, we don't have a reserve.
You have
Account.
surplus, sorry.
We have a surplus. That's it.
Aaron,
So first surplus in the reserve.
What did we do? We have a reserve?
Aaron, we had no money, right, Aaron, when you were president? Yeah. We were in trouble.
We were living paycheck to paycheck,
And not even. Yeah.
and there wasn't no picture, right?
We did not have a reserve account.
No.
Oh, it was a different time.
Yeah.
Life was less expensive. Not like today. Then you call electricity expensive, everything's expensive then. So, it was different.
We allotted,
Okay, let's-
I remember allotting $300 for that picnic,
Yeah,
and
$300.
everybody brought food and stuff and all
Yeah.
that good stuff. And me and you went over and got ice from the fire.
So, we
You and I
can,
should say.
so we should wait for the next meeting to discuss the rest, right?
Good study. I mean,
And Bonnie
Let's
got all
say-
the games and the bingo games
Yeah.
and all that, that was cool.
Like bingo was fun.
Yeah.
So,
If something happened, then we have to pay everybody $1,000 each
an assessment.
assessment, or
Then
$2,000.
no, that's not gonna happen.
Oh,
I mean,
Me?
if you guys, someone wants to make a motion to table, like I said, my concern is just the last, but we can table it to the study, and I can get the study back in time for the next meeting.
So,
That's my concern is
you want to go for $100?
$100.
Is the next meeting the third that we have all this done by?
yeah. I'll have it done by the third.
Okay, we'll do it for $100, so we can start, finish the study. That's, fine.
Is that what you want?
Go ahead.
Is that what you want?
There's not much.
We'll make it more easy.
Time, I know.
Practical.
I know, I've got,
Can we move it?
Halfway through.
It's not even a month.
that's why,
so you
hang on, that's
can-
what,
so you can make all the plans for the next meeting.
well, the meeting's in the third, that's in 17 days.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can study back in time, that's the thing.
Can you table this till March?
Or can it just at least be a
It's
month?
20 days, but not including weekend, or including weekend. So yeah, like 15 days, 2 weeks.
I mean, to get to get the study done, you don't have the lake information yet to show the person that's
They
gonna do
don't
the
need to,
study.
they just come and look at it all.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna look at what you guys think we ought to pay.
No,
for
I'll
the
show them
lake.
all this stuff and everything, we'll show them all the, but we can give them different quotes, say it's between 190, we can, they know, they've done this.
But we don't even know if we have to pay that yet.
What? No, we don't, but that's the thing, like, they look at the long-term things. They don't look at what needs to be done now, it's the long-term. And that's where we're at, is the long-term was 20 years ago.
Are you gonna show them that stuff that says it's aesthetic too, though?
Yes,
7 times?
no, look at all. But that's the thing, like, but still, there's gonna be a point in time we have to do something.
And how much does that cost?
Because I have to find out. I called you today, I haven't heard, but there's gonna be a point in time we have to do something. And this doesn't need to keep going round and round, and all of a sudden, we have to do something, we don't have the money. That's where I'm at. Not a lake owner, not a calendar. These dudes would also help the berm and the lake, or the canal people. Like, if we wanna increase, have treatments in there and all this other stuff, okay, now our shortfall's coming down even more. We can't just keep adding on and not increase dues to have a surplus and a reserve. That's where I'm at, and like,
You know,
I like, that's why I sincerely feel they're at 700. I mean, for all I know, this thing comes back more than 700, the study, I don't know, but,
well, if you say that 3 to 5% increase every year.
I can
that's
guarantee you it will.
so that's, I mean, it's, like,
Is this for Joe?
I'd rather say let's just go to 600 for the year, give a study, and then change it, but, I mean, I don't see it hurting people that much.
When's the next dues are due?
March.
March, or they
You
go
have
out.
a little time to get that back.
Right, so what's the point of doing anything?
Well, no, we were gonna put this out for 2026.
Yeah, so we can still, I mean, we can
That's
do
what-
that, we
having
can always
nothing to
delay
do
the
with-
dues, we can set them up going out in April, but it's like, that's, like I said, those are my concerns, if we're adding all these things, there's work that needs to be on the berm that I see drive by every day, that no one else probably does, there's trees that are falling down, we had to spend $2,500 last year on one tree that fell on a fence and fix a fence. There's a lot of that there, and we can't just keep sucking it off the current dues. We're responsible for all the berm stuff, so, and no one realizes
Do you
that.
have multiple quotes for that kind of stuff too?
For what, the trees? Yeah. So, but it's just like, there's work that no one knows needs to be done. The lake people don't see the canal, you know, we only see I don't see any of it. But that's why I would, you know, long-term, if anything, instead of 7, it's it, but it's just, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I'm torn a million ways on the whole thing. So, do you guys wanna table it then?
Reserve, survey.
Raising them and the budget and everything, set the budget meeting next meeting, or keep it where it is?
Well, you wanna wait till how much this is gonna cost, the survey, before we do the, before we
Well, I've got to find out how much studies
finalize
it
the
costs.
budget? We're supposed to finalize the budget today.
I know,
Is that rule in the documents or something?
we can table it, but
I'm just
no,
wondering,
we
is
just
it
have to
rule?
mail it out within 14 days of
Yeah.
approving.
No, we can reset another meeting for a budget meeting, that's what we have to do.
Well,
And
this is a
ironically,
regular board meeting, right? Not a budget meeting.
no, this
Doing the
is,
budget.
this is a board meeting, including a budget meeting, yeah.
Okay.
But, real quick, of all people, Bud, who works for our electrician, okay, he's the president of his association, where, I don't know. He says he got to there and they gave him the wrong budget. So, he got in, he had to basically adjourn the meeting and reset the meeting for another time, because he was given the wrong information, evidently. He's a president or whatever, and all the stuff he had a budget from it before, anyway. So now that's what we would have to do. If we're not gonna have a budget meeting tonight, we have to make another date for the budget meeting.
Could you do it in March, April? I mean,
Now you're getting into,
we'll sort of
No,
bring
we
this on
need to do
again.
this as soon as possible, the dues go, like, that's, like,
yeah. I
What
mean,
about raising the dues, if you have to raise them, the second time, September? You know, keep it the same for March, because we don't have all the information, but you'll have it all before the September one for sure. I mean, that's an idea.
so I mean, if we,
That's an idea,
It's only one, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if we did that, you have to go right to 700 to make up for this one.
But then would it go down to 600 the following year?
Well, it all depends on what the study shows. That's my basic, I wanna see what the study shows. I don't know what it's gonna show. That's what I really wanna see for the long-term health.
Is there a way to move the next meeting and go further out so we can get all this information back or not?
Well, she's already prepared, they
It
can go
has to
budget.
be in February, right, in
Oh,
the
it's
documents.
hard.
Now, I got it booked, it's for like 3 hours.
Yeah, she's done a lot,
She
a
has
lot
done
of.
so much on this.
Well, it's at the beginning of February, maybe
Well, she has like the
And
dates
it's
everything.
supposed to be the first Tuesday in February anyway, and that's the only day, I mean, and I've typed up everything,
Okay.
so it's like.
Alright,
So do you, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. You know how I feel, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys.
What do you think? You good, or? Well, for me-
Well, Kathy's motion hasn't been seconded yet.
No.
To
For me-
table it
for me, I
and do the study.
understood with $700 the last time. That's why we voted for $700.
Yeah.
Now we're talking again the same story. So that's why I understood it was $700. We voted for it.
Right.
That's what, do you remember?
I know. It was a motion made.
Well, I made the motion, and Larry's like, let's, contingent upon this, right? Looking over this. So I looked over it all, now that we didn't save any money because of all the attorney's fees. So we didn't really have a clean year.
But how
And
the
then-
numbers came out when Tiffany brought in 9,000 and how that worked out as far as why should we have to go into our reserves to pay that?
Well, we have to, no, this will be a reserves project, that's why.
Okay.
But still, like, we're not planning for that, so the extra $100 would offset these projects. And I think Aaron understands that, but,
Yes. So let's make it 6 would be, we can cover all the expenses.
6 would be $50 a month,
So
basically.
we'll be covered for the,
and, okay, so, and then it's, the caveat is, this thing comes back, and, they say you need to have more.
And then we have
So
to increase it.
that's the
So we
difference.
increase the second time around, like,
Yeah. So let's go with 6 now. So we can cover all the $8,000, how much is it?
no. Do we have to do the drawings, or can we just do the survey?
no, the drawings are necessary if the survey deems it necessary.
Okay, so what's gonna get them to the point of saying, here's what needs to be done?
The survey.
Okay, so we don't need the drawings.
I don't know, I didn't say that. The survey's gonna tell you where things need to be done.
Yeah,
If you go forward with the project, you need drawings.
correct. So, but as of right now,
Correct, yes.
for us to say, hey, here's the areas that need to be done, here's the
Understand
linear
the
feet, and here's what we
project, just
suggest.
needs-
They
right,
can
just
just-
a survey.
So we can scratch off the drawings.
If you don't wanna do the project starting
For
this
now,
year,
for
yes.
now. But for later on.
So
do
we
need-
we'll have to amend the motion, hold on. So, if we get the survey done at 5,000, okay? Not the whole thing, at 4,306. Or 9, whatever. Do the study for the reserves, make the budget. I mean, then, we don't have to cover the whole thing. I understand, I don't.
That's not a bad
I
idea.
don't confuse you.
I don't.
No, that's not a bad idea.
And then, find out what the study says we need to be produced, and then bring it up at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to amend the motion for approving them to get the engineering and survey drawings done.
No, not the drawings.
No, so we're amending that motion that was made earlier to
Oh,
approve.
I see.
And we're gonna amend that motion to say, just do the engineering survey, see if we can do it for 4,500 instead of 5.
You getting this, Kat? You getting this?
It's,
Yeah, okay.
I guess so.
Does anyone second that amendment? It's
Say it one more time.
second amending that motion.
Okay.
Tom second it?
Yeah, why not?
All in favor? Okay. So we're gonna do 4,500. We'll get the study done.
Who's gonna do the study?
I got multiple people back. There's Florida something at civil and engineering, and there's another, Florida consulting and there's 2 different ones. I'll send you links tomorrow. I called them today.
But I know that they, if I remember correctly, when they do
Not the survey,
the survey, when they do the survey,
did it.
they take pictures.
Yes, that's a survey. I'm talking about the study for the HOA. It's
The
2 different
budget.
things.
Oh.
That's what I'm talking about.
And how much of your money are you allowing for that?
We don't know yet. I'm gonna get the number. That's the thing, like, we'll have to send out,
That's gonna be at least $1,000.
yeah, but So
You're
I
gonna set a
was
cap?
gonna ask for a budget of 2,000. I don't know what's gonna cost, but that's gonna set a benchmark for us to follow.
Yeah,
And where we need to increase from, how we need to, you know, because this is the biggest, most intimidating thing for me is, I don't live on the lake, I don't live in the canal, I don't live near a berm. But the stuff's gonna have to get done one way or another, period. And we gotta figure out from them, of like, how we can financially do this and stay healthy and cost the least amount of resident.
and I think that if we've shown good faith by doing this, and by making these steps, that we're basically, you know, covering ourselves that way, in terms of any liability or anything like that. At least we're making progress. Might not be fast, but at least it's progress.
Okay, so I'll make that motion. Do we wanna approve a budget right now?
Well, yeah, I don't know why you went through the budget all over again.
No, for this,
Do it now.
for the study. So you just wanna approve this budget increase of dues? Is that what you're saying?
Don't forget this, our
Yeah.
budget, we include the 10% buffer.
Well, that's off those numbers. Like, that's,
So like, I just talked to Jessica, she said that the survey actually does cost 4,500, we just included a 10% buffer to the survey.
10% add on to 4,500?
Add on to everything.
Oh, add on to everything.
okay, so let's, so you wanna approve this budget? And then if the study says increase them? Or do you wanna table approving this budget and create a new one if the study comes back saying something different and propose that, and then
You know,
this
listen,
is the budget. So that's where we're at right now. We approve this one as the way it is, and then amend it, if the study comes back and say it's more, or do we table approving this budget, redo a new budget, if they come back and say you need to increase it to this, and create a new one, and then they, at the same time, they'll have like, here's your reserves, we can allocate everything. Or do we approve this now? Or do we create a new one?
What do you recommend? The latter?
I'm gonna let you guys decide, I wanna go home and eat.
Yeah, if you're gonna get a study done on the budget, and you're gonna have a professional tell you, hey, this is how much you need to spend the budget for, is how much you're, I would say table this, otherwise you're gonna do this twice.
Yeah. So table this budget, create a new one, you think? Okay.
Okay, then we have to have another meeting.
Yeah, cause they're gonna create one for you, so it's
Yeah.
gonna save you some money.
Can you do it before the annual meeting?
I
At that
doubt it.
point?
I don't know.
I'm
Because you
gonna
have the
tell-
meeting before the annual meeting.
I mean, we're small, I don't know how in depth this could be, I mean, we're not like a crazy POA like somebody, so I'm hoping they can do it quickly, but I don't know. So,
Wow.
alright, I'll make the motion to table this budget. Do we, so we do this at the annual meeting, or do we wanna do it at the, create a whole new meeting for it?
Well, we have a board meeting before the annual.
We're gonna make a meeting
What's that?
before.
What?
I can't guarantee that back with it, so making that motion,
Well,
we may have to push it off again, another.
well, I mean, we can at least make the attempt, in the event that they can't, and we have plan B.
I'll make a motion to table approving the 2026 budget until we receive back the study for,
The survey.
our study, our
Right.
POA,
Your POA.
reserve and due study.
That's what I meant.
So I'll make that motion.
Okay.
So I wanna have that back as soon as possible, but I'll make that motion right now. Does anyone want a second that?
I have a question about that.
Okay, discussion, that's fine.
Okay. What are they gonna need from us to propose their
I don't know yet.
budget?
That's what, we're very minimal, so I don't know yet. All I do know is they look at everything you're responsible for, liable for. They'll probably want our insurance policy, like cost of it. I'm sure it's a basic
So
questionnaire.
everything is current,
Yes.
so we don't include any foreseen problems in terms of,
No, well, I mean, that's what they come out and look at. Like they say, we're 40-year-old, and they'll probably say, well, has anything been done? Has this been, like, they'll probably ask this question in the questionnaire. I don't know until
and they do this quite often, is this something?
There's a
that-
bunch of them, there's a handful of them, yes, that's all they
No,
do.
but they do a lot of HOAs.
That's what they specialize in.
I'd like to speak to
Yeah,
somebody from
so-
an HOA that had experience with it.
Yeah. And I think this sets the benchmark of where we need to be at. And we can bring all this into the equation of, these are costs we're expecting to work on. So like, you know, kind of figure that in. Are we in a safe place?
Yeah, all right.
And again, we don't know, and we'll get the report, you know, the reports and everything, so.
Okay.
That was my motion.
Where's your receipt?
Seconded. All in favor? Get out of here.
I gotta ask you, were they talking a lot about the signs? Were they talking that up? The people that you connected with?
No, actually.
What were they talking about?
They just said another.
CO2,
Yeah.
the plastic stuff?
Yeah, littoral plants, things that maybe are not necessary.